At it again on another Saturday. Dark Mind Quotes. Hey, this is Artemis Quick. I'm here again with Dark Mind Quotes. First real session being on YouTube. Post to launch my book, Why a Black Man Should Marry a White Woman. And so now this topic is absolutely dear to my heart. And a lot of people don't really get it. Well, like, why in the world is this guy making a title like a black man should marry a white woman? Why are we even talking about race in 2019? Well, the perspective that I take is that I feel post-racial blacks in America, we don't realize the internal battles that we have every single day. Now, the external ones we could talk about. The news, the media, they're always getting us emotionally jarred. Whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're yellow, purple, whatever skin tone you have, like the superficial stuff, the real shallow stuff that we have in America, the media and our education, it all keeps us super divided because we're only surface level thinking about this problem. The problem in the world is that we're just not able to relate to one another, right? So in that regard, I'm telling the story of my life experience as a 33-year-old being in America, born in North Carolina, grew up, spent my time there, and the majority of us, we just don't know how to relate, and we don't know how to communicate with one another. So the title of my book really gives, hey, so check this out. My neighbor's coming by, awesome people, by the way, live here on Fort Riley, and having a great time being in the military. And that's a whole nother topic for another day. I'm gonna expand my channel even more, get some quick Q&A, some questions out there. See, neighbors. Awesome neighbors. Doing an awesome dog walk this morning. Being a whole heck of a lot more energetic than I am, which is not really saying much. More lifting in my book as opposed to doing cardio, and we'll save that topic for another day. But anyway, back at it. Just thinking about one of the comments that was published on my channel. Well, on my Kindle Direct Publishing. I did another video about Kindle Direct Publishing and kind of give you some free step-by-step based off of my experience with Kindle Direct Publishing, how to get your book out there for the lowest cost possible. You know, 90% of us in America, whether you're white, black, Asian, whatever, we're trying to get to a place of where we can make money, take care of our families, you know, and I think that's the human condition. That's what we all want, right? But I share my specific black experience. So let's get back to the topic at hand. And I want to talk about the internalization of being black in America and why we don't like ourselves and as a whole, not 100%, but in the aggregate. Why do blacks treat themselves the way that we treat ourselves? Why do we look at ourselves through the lens of white people? Why are standards set for the handsome, curved jaw, fixed jaw white dude with blonde hair, blue eyes, and he's the guy that you want to marry, and he's going to be the provider and long-term standing in a relationship, and he's going to be the guy to take care of you, so forth and so on. Why is the long-haired, beautiful blonde woman, she the ideal of beauty and perfection? Why can't my waves whoop, 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 swimming? Why can't my waves be considered handsome? Why can't I have three daughters and a son, and why are my daughters curly hair? Why aren't that beautiful? All right, and that's just in society's eyes. So I think accountability, and I think individuality, as far as people to people, we recognize beauty in all different types of shades, color, hues, ages, shapes, sizes, right? But what society does is it tells us that we need to stay divided based off of those things. So my book dives deeply into black thought. Get in that mind. Get in that mind. It dives into black thought and how can we start changing the way that we interact with one another so we can create a better community for people of color. How is it that we can change the literacy rates in underprivileged neighborhoods? My father's doing a nonprofit controls and manages a nonprofit organization back home in North Carolina. I'm really proud of him. He linked up with the state of North Carolina and is now managing a project community where during the summertime from 11 to 1 o'clock, he goes and is catering over 150 meals to kids in the projects. And it's things like that in our life that we find a chance and find an opportunity to be able to help and be of assistance to people who just don't have it. And then there you can say, all right, hey man, I see potential in you, or hey young lady, I see potential in you. What is it that you want to do when you grow up? What is it that you want to be? How can I help you through my life experiences? Because God knows I've had a lot of them, and being super successful, and then also failing miserably, just like everybody else, just falling on my face, right? So how do I get it to a place of where I can say, let me share these lessons learned when the rubber meets the road in real life? How do I get to a point of where I can show you what the pitfalls are and help you avoid them? And I think us, generally speaking, us black people in America, we don't do the lessons learned. We don't do the AAR. What's that in our army, the military? It's the after action review. We don't say, let me pass down that generational knowledge. And again, we can blame all of the external factors, which there are a fucking shit ton, a metric shit ton in America of external factors. But in a scientific experiment, you have to say, okay, those are external variables. But what can our grassroots bring down to my level and take advantage of and control the things that I can affect? And I think if we take a very bold stance and say, I know these are the things that I can affect and these are things that I can change, and we start implementing plans to change the things that you can affect, then everybody would then start becoming more educated. We would treat each other with a position of value. And a lot of times you take a look at isolated situations, such as homelessness and underemployment and teen pregnancies and low literacy rates, and you're saying that's because of external effects. But what are the internal mindsets and processes that we're not valuing ourselves through, and how do I change those? So let me get a sip of coffee. So this is a coffee mug that I got in the mail. We got to start moving from degrees, right? College education. It's not getting us anywhere as Americans anymore. Give you a backstory. Tell you how I started out trying to go after the American dream. All-American basketball player in 2004. At college, my freshman year. Real small school, was going to get me my education, and I'm going to get a good job, and I'm going to get a great career, and blah, 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 right? White picket fence. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to have that green, lush grass. Grass is always greener on the other side. But in the cycle that we live in the system that we live in America, you don't own anything besides debt. And, that's another topic that we can jump on. And by and large, the black community, all we do is operate in debt, right? For the majority of us, for every white dollar owned in America, black people own 6 cents of every white dollar. So, I mean, bro, my stomach hurts on those numbers. Let's let that soak in. For every dollar of wealth owned in America, black people own 6 cents of that dollar in wealth. If there's no accountability and there's no finances in your community, and the only thing you doing is sending your kids to college, it's my beautiful wife, sending your kids to college to go get debt, and then there are no jobs, how do you change that cycle? How do you get out of that cycle of poverty? How do you get out of that cycle of lack of ownership? You don't own no businesses. Everybody's, touting Nipsey Hussle and this guy who bought up a whole block in Crenshaw in the hood, which is amazing because he said, fuck all the bullshit, screw everything. I'm not going to go to college. I learned what I needed to learn, that sustainable business models or sustainable development, by getting residual income. How do I get residual income? Own multiple businesses that's going to pay you every single month. This is not just a lesson about black people. This is a lesson that the whole ship is going down, man. We all are sinking, and it's just an exponential rate of sinking on the ship for black people in America. But all Americans, we're all suffering that same fate. And we're talking about, let's get free college education. Hell no, we don't need free college. We don't need any more college. If you're not going to be a doctor, if you're not going to be a lawyer, if you're not going to be an engineer, then you don't really need to go to college. The internet, the websites, live libraries that are free libraries that are published works, they're all going to educate you and school you on the train of thought to make you certified to be able to do a job. Entrepreneurship, business ownership, real estate, those are going to be the things that are hard, tangible assets to bring America back to greatness. Skilled trade jobs, welding, carpentry, so forth and so on. Textiles, you owning your own business and being self-sufficient is going to be what builds a stronger community, because then those life lessons, those skills, that hard work, that dedication, that effort is going to be able to get you back to get us back to a place of where we can be independent and off this fiat currency and this fake money. So I'm streaming because this is my first time doing it realistically in a live setting, and I'm passionate about it. I want you to check out my book, and it's titled, super emotionally charged title, Why Black Men Should Marry a White Woman. And I deal with multiple chapters on black hate and why we look at ourselves through the lens of white people. And I just isolate myself and go through life experiences that I talk through life experiences that I've had, and why I didn't feel like I was good enough, and why, I battle internally with post-traumatic slavery disorder, and how to overcome it realistically and see value in myself and find value in myself. So it's a life journey. But simultaneously, everybody, you get married and you have kids and you have all of these other things that come up and that you experience and that you go through, and you have to keep going with the same goal, and then you pick a new goal, and then you have new points of friction, and you got new things obstacles that you got to overcome. But how do you become the best you here in this world and in this skin? And I want to share my journey, and I like sharing my story. I'm gonna continue to expand this channel. I'm gonna open up some chats and some debates. And like I said, I'm married. I've been married for 11 years. So an awesome woman who's got the intestinal fortitude to put up with me. Beautiful four beautiful children. And the story is, I went to college and pulled a dropout thing. After 2.5 years, I pulled my Kanye West in 2006. Flash forward, I've been in the military for 11, almost 12 years, and now I have 4 college degrees. And I go so far to say, with all of the educational representatives that I know, and I just got off the phone with about an hour ago with my old high school teacher, social studies teacher, and he's been in education for 25 years. I could go so far as to say, sorry to tell you, but I would want to wipe my ass with all 4 of my college degrees. Where is the value? And if we continue to think inside the box, inside this matrix, and look at life through the lens of society and what standards of acceptance and standards of success are monitored as and are set as, then we're going to never be successful. And that's as Americans, that's as black people in America, that's as white people in America. We have to find our niche where entrepreneurship and where self-sustaining and where proactivity and where a conscious dialogue between one another and leveraging people's strengths and understanding and empathizing with people's weaknesses and being able to position them as leaders in your organization or what they're talented and good at, to be able to promote everybody collectively. If we don't do that, then we're going to all fail. And so I send this message with love. This is the Black Quotes channel, and this is my first start on a journey. Hope I can get some people to view, subscribe, and click the notification button. I'll jump up here once a week to start out, and then we're going to continue to grow from there. The next topic we'll be jumping on is whatever y'all leave in the comments. So again, I'm Artemis Quick. Peace and love.